if I may, are you going to pass legislation allowing the government to suspend aspects of the Northern Ireland Protocol?
Thanks very much, Heather. So, look, one of the things that has been really effective in the sanctions that we've seen so far is the ban on tech transfer to Russia, and that really makes a difference. And it's starting to mean that they can't service their planes. There are real problems starting to arise. We've got to ensure we keep that ban tight. We'll be making sure that we don't allow any loopholes of any kind, so we won't. We will take steps to make sure that stuff does not go through other routes to Russia. On your point about the Northern Ireland Protocol, look, this is something that has been a consistent issue for the UK government, and I think it's very simple. It's about the balance of the Good Friday Agreement, and because of what is happening, I think that it'd be fair to say that the protocol really does not command the confidence of a large component of the population in Northern Ireland. We have to address that. We have to fix that. There are very substantial diversions of trade, and it's going on, and it's getting more acute. We have to fix that. We think we can do it with some very simple and reasonable steps, and we've talked repeatedly to our friends and partners in the EU. We'll continue to talk to them. But as I've said many times now, we don't rule out taking further steps if that's necessary, and that's the position. But I've said that many times. Of course. Steve, that goes without saying. Steve Swinford, The Times.
Prime Minister, Western intelligence officials briefed us yesterday that the war in Ukraine could continue until the end of next year, and they said bluntly that Russia could win. That is a scenario that's possible. Do you accept that assessment, particularly that time frame? And secondly, you're reopening our embassy in Kiev. Can we expect regular visits by you and other ministers in coming months?
So, Steve, yes. I mean, look, I think the sad thing is that that is a realistic possibility. Yeah, of course. Putin has a huge army. He has a very difficult political position because he's made a catastrophic blunder. He has the only option he now has really is to continue to try to use his appalling grinding approach, led by artillery, trying to grind the Ukrainians down. And he's very close to securing a land bridge in Mariupol now. The situation is, I'm afraid, unpredictable at this stage. We've just got to be realistic about that. But what we've also seen is the incredible heroism of the Ukrainians and their willingness to fight. And I tell you something, I think that no matter what military superiority Vladimir Putin may be able to bring to bear in the next few months, and I agree, it could be a long period, he will not be able to conquer the spirit of the Ukrainian people. That is just an observable fact. On the contrary, what he is doing every day is strengthening and reinforcing that will to resist in the people of Ukraine. And so I think what we in the supporters of the Ukrainian people need to think about is what further steps we can do to support them militarily. And you know about what we're doing with the artillery that we're sending, the shells that we're sending, both NATO standard and Warsaw Pact, a former Warsaw Pact standard. You know about the armoured cars, 150 armoured cars. I think perhaps what I haven't said in public before is that we're also looking more at what we can do to backfill in countries such as Poland, who may want to send heavier weaponry to help defend the Ukrainians. So we're looking at sending tanks to Poland to help them as they send some of their T-72s to Ukraine, and other steps like that. And I think about the anti-ship defences and so on. So we've got to look at what more we can do militarily. We've got to keep intensifying the economic sanctions and that's what we're doing. We want to make sure that there is wave after wave of intensifying pressure on Putin. And we've also got to set out a vision for the future of Ukraine in the security architecture of Europe. And where does Ukraine fit in now? Because that, I think, is a question that everybody will need to answer. And the Ukrainians will need to be able to answer that question if and when there is ever a realistic negotiation, which doesn't seem likely at the present time. But eventually, what the Ukrainians want, and I think are now going to get, is a collection of security guarantees from like-minded countries, security commitments about what we can do to back them up with weaponry, with training, and with intelligence sharing. Not like an Article 5 guarantee, won't be exactly the same thing, but what it will be I hope, it will enable the Ukrainians to offer deterrence by denial, and to make sure that their territory is so fortified as to be impregnable in the future to further attack from Russia. That's what we need to do. And on your question about getting ministers to Kyiv, I'm all in favour of that. But we have no immediate announcements. I think it's a good thing if people do go there to show their support, their solidarity with the Ukrainian government and with Volodymyr Zelensky. Thanks. I think that was both things. Can I go to Kamaljit Sandhu from India Today?
So my question is,
Sorry.
India has several concerns as far as Nirav Modi and Vijay Mallya are concerned. How is UK taking those up? Also, there is also an issue about Khalistani extremists. There has been a concern from the Indian side for quite some time. What actions have been taken?
Yeah, thank you very much, Kamaljit. So it won't surprise you to learn that both these things were raised with us. And we have a very strong view in the UK that we don't tolerate extremist groups setting up in the UK with a view to causing threatening other countries, threatening India. But what we've done in particular as a result of this visit is set up an anti-extremist task force to see what more we can do to help India in that particular respect. And on the two individuals that you mentioned for the extradition cases, I think there are legal technicalities that have made it very, very difficult. But what I can tell you is that the UK government has ordered their extradition, and that we have said that from our point of view we want them to be taken back to India for trial. And perhaps I should just say, perhaps going back to Mesa's point, we welcome people who have talent and brilliance coming from India to the UK. We don't welcome. I want to make it absolutely clear now. We don't welcome people who want to use our legal system to evade the law here in India. So let me be absolutely clear about that. Let's go to Rizal Hassan Laskar from his Hindustan Times.
तो आप देख रहे थे सीधा प्रसारण ब्रिटिश प्रधानमंत्री बोरिस जॉनसन मीडिया को संबोधित कर रहे थे। उन्होंने कहा भारत और मीडिया ब्रिटेन के बीच में गहरे रिश्ते रहे हैं और उनको आगे बढ़ाए जाने की ज़रूरत है। उन्होंने कहा कि भारत ब्रिटेन के बीच मुक्त व्यापार समझौते को पिछले काफ़ी समय से गति मिली है और उन्होंने रूस के साथ भारत के संबंधों पर साफ कहा कि भारत के रूस के साथ विशेष रिश्ते रहे हैं और इन